Greetings YouTube and welcome to the first 0AD Newbie Rush tournament special, where I'll be covering games from the June 2020 0AD Double Elimination Tournament. My fellow 0AD player, tournament organiser and friend of the channel, Berhudar, has reached out and kindly asked me to cover a few of the games from the June 2020 tournament, and so here we are. At the time of recording, the tournament is still in progress and you can check out the current standings via the link in the video description below, where you'll also find all the usual links to download 0AD, links to the growing 0AD community, 0AD game mods, and the Tom 0AD and Valorant YouTube channels if you're craving more 0AD replays, commentary and analysis. As always, if you enjoy this video, please feel free to press the like button, and for updates on all new episodes you're more than welcome to subscribe. Regular episodes of 0AD Newbie Rush appear on Sundays, and tournament specials will appear literally as soon as I finish editing them. Anyways, let's get on to today's double elimination tournament game. All the tournament games take place on a small mainland map, and today's match is from the opening round of the June 2020 competition and features Berhudar, rated 1184, playing as the Britons, versus Sharkee, currently unrated, playing as the Romans. Let's go! Okay, here we go for the first 0AD June 2020 double elimination tournament game to be broadcast on 0AD Newbie Rush. And the teams are off. Competitors today are in the red here. It's, I hope I pronounced this right, Berhudar. Berhudar? I'm going to go with that. Rated 1184, as I said, in the red, playing as the Britons. This is a small mainland map in the autumn biome, and he's playing against Sharkee, currently unrated, playing in the blue as the Romans. Let's have a look at the various approaches. So Berhudar has gone with, it's pretty stock standard so far. He's gone with farmstead, women getting berries. He's got the berry upgrade. He's already produced, looks like he produced the full 6 women and a complement of a further 2 thereafter, and more women on the way. Cavalryman hunting chickens. Contrast that with Sharkee, who has also gone with the farmstead, a bit slow getting the berry upgrade. He's got 7 women on that, and looks like he's added an extra swordsman and 3 women collecting wood. No storehouse, so he's going food-centric approach. First house down already, and also cavalryman collecting chickens. He's producing another 5 women and another two slingers coming out. So at this point, fairly even approach. First barracks going down for Sharkee. That's quite early. Be interested to see if he can really ramp up his population. I think it's a good time to get your first barracks down. We do not have one from Berhudar yet. He's gone for, I think he's going for a population boom here. He's going for some multiple house building. At the moment, population's nothing in it at the moment. Actually, saying that, Berhudar has definitely opened up a little lead. He's 29, plays 24, so his approach definitely seems to be more efficient thus far, and he is producing a considerable amount of slingers early on. There's a group of 5 coming out now. Yes, I think that's possibly to mitigate possible rush. Where is Berhudar's cavalryman? Is he off scouting somewhere? Let's have a look. He's scouting around the outside of the base. He has got a fair amount of hunt that he's aware of. He's got a lovely batch of deer at the beginning. That's a useful place to have them. More deer on the side. Let's have a look at the wider picture. Even more deer towards the middle. I think they can both contest over that. And more deer over here. So all the deer seem to be sort of centralised towards Berhudar's position. He's now got the barracks down and second storehouse, so he's doubling up on storehouses. He's reached 34 to Sharkee's 28. What's Sharkee doing? He's let all of his women finish collecting berries and not doing anything else. He is collecting the deer here, so his hunt very close to his base. That's the only bit of hunt he's got in his territory, and so near to his territory, so his transition to farming is probably going to have to be a bit quicker. He's got 2 fields going down now. Berhudar's gone even faster. He's got 3 down and more women on the way, and I think he'd probably be quite confident of fighting off a potential rush at this point. Cavalry is a strange one. For a new player, I think cavalry are quite a difficult thing to manage, because they take obviously twice as much resources and time to produce. But they can be decisive, especially early on. Are we looking? Neither has produced any more than the 1 cavalryman they were interested with. Sharkee has gone straight into hunting, and let's have a look at how much scouting Berhudar has done. He has scouted basically 2/3 of the map, so he knows where all the hunt is on his side. He's given himself a good advantage, because he hasn't capitalised on the hunt straight away. He's got all that to come, basically. Possibly we'll see him raising cavalry later. I think he's managed to house himself, though. Yeah, Berhudar has temporarily housed himself, but he's got houses up on the way. Slight knock to his population. He's opened up an 11 gap, though, and then that gap has just grown to 48. 48 placed 32. And 14 of those are infantry. So this early first 5 minutes though has definitely favoured Berhudar over Sharkee, and that gap continues to grow. I think we'll go back into Overlord view. Oh, we've got an alarm going off. The attack dog of Berhudar has decided to get into the action. Fair enough, he's actually murdered a slinger before meeting an untimely end. Psychologically, an early attack is quite a big deal. It can throw you off your game. Sharkee has not really further expanded the farming. He's only got a handful of deer left, and his wood lines are looking stretched. He started mining quite early, whereas Berhudar has not started mining yet. Let's speed up the action at that point. We're going to go into insane speed. Things will move along quickly from here. Berhudar has focused on the farming, still getting the women out in their group and not having a field ready to go straight away, so perhaps that's a little inefficiency in his game. Can't knock his numbers though. He's on 61 after approaching 7 minutes, so for a newer player he is hitting his mark. He's doing okay. He's certainly leaving Sharkee's population numbers for dust there. Sharkee is going to be short of food later. He's got plenty of food at the moment because he's exploiting this hunt with his 1 cavalryman. Nobody's gone in for more cavalry since. He's not... Oh, interesting. He's phasing up incredibly early. Well, I say incredibly early. It's 7 minutes. But he's phasing up without too much in the way of resources and numbers down. He's now ploughing straight into phase 2 building. He's already got a tower that he's converting, so Sharkee is going for a lightning phase 2, possibly to bring siege in early. The Romans have a great choice of siege weapons. He's got 2 towers that he's upgrading. Temple going back at the rear of the base. Interesting place to put a temple. You wouldn't expect there to be too much fighting here. Maybe he's expecting rushes on his mining operations and the such like, but interesting approach that we've got now from Berhudar. He's also gone for an advanced defense tower and producing a very good defensive structure of houses around his wood line. He's progressed to a 2nd wood line. Sharkee has got a second wood line, but he's almost exhausted it already. So single wood lines are the way to go with Sharkee at the moment. That might lead to a bit of a short. He's got a shortfall of everything, to be honest. Berhudar is comprehensively out producing and out mining and out farming him. Berhudar's gone for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fields. Farming upgrade, or first level of farming upgrade, has already been taken, and another barracks going up for Berhudar as well, and he is producing in parallel from CC his existing barracks and his new barracks, so his population is absolutely booming. It's almost 50. Berhudar has got 115 population, plays 57, of which that 115, 55 are infantry. What have we got here? Yet another barracks for Berhudar. He is going for population massively here. I mean, even just as we've been talking about it, his population's gone up to 125, plays 57. Sharkee's not raised anybody in that time. He's not producing. He is doing well in getting the phase 2 buildings. He is now in a position, if he gets enough stone and metal, to progress to phase 3 incredibly quickly. I don't think... Oh, here we go. Yeah. Berhudar has just progressed to phase 2, while Sharkee is now progressing to phase 3. So he raided the market for that. So, yeah, two different approaches going on. I actually favour the infrastructure approach of Berhudar. You get numbers, you fend off attacks. You're just in a better position to develop later in the game. You can have multiple woodlines on the go. Everything for Sharkee is centred in sort of single places, and he's not managing his woodlines. He's got people walking incredible distance to the nearest tree. He's got fantastic woodlines here and here, extra berries here, a huge woodline right on the cusp of the line. If you could take this, reinforce it with towers. I much more fancy Berhudar's position. What's Berhudar doing here? Oh, we sent an entire contingent to build a house, and his phase 2 building is going down now. Neither player has actually decided to go for cavalry. When are we going to see some cavalry enter into the mix? I wonder if Berhudar is going completely for an infantry-based approach. Oh no, tell a lie. Berhudar has sneaked out another 4 cavalry. That will come in very useful for raiding and for collecting the remainder of this hunt. He's basically claimed it all. What is Sharkee's cavalryman doing? Absolutely nothing. So he's been reduced to a peripheral figure there. But we do have the fortress going up for Sharkee. So I did suspect that was his strategy. Get to phase 3 fast, get siege up. But I don't think he's backing it up with troops. He's certainly left himself short on the food stakes. 2 fields. You know, you can upgrade the farmstead as much as you like. It's not going to help you if you haven't got enough food coming in. He's got berries here, so he's got berries here as well. He has been blessed in the same way that Berhudar has been blessed with quite a lot of hunt. Sharkee's been blessed with berries, but he's not exploiting it. They're both in good strategic places. He's organising his wood lines a bit better now. He's got ungarrisoned towers defending this wood line. Ungarrisoned tower defending his mining and farming. Where are Berhudar's cavalry gone? He's got priests. His cavalry have come to the other side. We're going to see an excursion here. We're going to see a bit of an attack. 5 cavalry coming in. In the meantime, he will have seen this fortress. He's attacking the miners who've run away into a tower. He's seen the fortress. He's seen his woodcutters over here. So it's disrupted his mining operation. and he's kind of abandoned that secondary mining operation. Are they pulling out completely? No, the Cav are hiding at this wood line, just waiting for some softer targets, I think. And in the meantime, Sharkee has in fact made 5 rams and has hero cavalry swordsman on the way. So I can't totally diss his approach. I don't like the fact he is so far down on numbers, and isn't he? He's only got 96 troops, or 96 population, of which only 59 are infantry. So the rest are women. He's leaving himself vulnerable to a big attack, and I have absolutely no doubt there will be an enormous attack coming very soon, and I think it might be decisive. In the meantime, Berhudar has got to phase 3, has got his fortress down, has got 3 rams out already, another 4 rams on the way, and hero as well. He's gone for hero cavalry too. Has he been upgrading? He has. He's upgraded all his ranged infantry. He's getting armor upgrades. The Cav are sitting there waiting perhaps for a distraction or another strike. All of those people who were previously working on mining there are still in towers and houses. He's exhausted another wood line this side. Sharkee is not managing his population. I think something happens when when you're a new player, you get over 100 population. It's difficult. It's difficult to manage, keep all these things in the air. We have a bit of an ill-fated attack there. I wouldn't say that's gone very well for Berhudar. He's lost 4 of those 5 cavalry. Make that 5 of all of those cavalry. Cavalry not playing a very active part. I would say mild distraction rather than a decisive blow or a major issue. Sharkee has again mismanaged his wood lines over this side. He's going to have people wandering to all different parts of the map. More towers going up, but what would you say, an absolutely colossal force of infantry and battering rams. What have we got? Hero, 35 skirmishers, 78 slingers, 23 spearmen, 5 priests, and 8 battering rams. They're not going to meet any resistance whatsoever. Sharkee's population is already being devastated by this. He's down to under 90 now and falling, but he has sprung out some catapults, and that might give him something to think about. I don't think it's gonna cause him to pull back too far. Catapults protected are devastating against infantry, and in all fairness, Berhudar has taken a little bit of a pounding after he'd made his initial onslaught. The rams are fighting amongst themselves, but it's 6 rams versus 3 rams. 2 rams rather. The rams are taking a bit of a pasting from the catapults. What's he gonna do next? He's trying to secure buildings. He's already lost one of his houses. Sharkee in desperate trouble. And in comes some cav. We have some cavalry reinforcements, and that's it. He's resigned already. As soon as the cavalry reinforcements came in, and there was nothing to oppose it. I think that is what you would call a good old-fashioned walkover there. Credit to Berhudar, he got his numbers right, and launched his first strike on round about sort of 20 minutes. Went in with an overwhelming force, and despite the fact that he'd raced through phase 3 and got his fortress up and had catapults and rams, he did not have the bodies on the ground. He did not have the infantry to fight off, did not have any cavalry whatsoever. So a pretty one-sided slaughter there in the end. Let's have a look at the tail of the game. So Berhudar reached very near the 300 pop cap maximum. He generated 293 troops, murdering 97, which effectively constituted the whole of Sharkee's population. He was not on the same page production-wise. If we have a look at That is a ginormous gap opened up very early on. He was not utilising. He did get a second barracks, but barely used it. Whereas Berhudar went for multiple barracks and was producing from all of them pretty consistently. Not the fastest development, but very slow and steady. Good defensive position with a good mix of troops. It's not like he spammed out 50 women straight away, left himself open to rushes. Not that any rushes came. In the event that he was attacked, he did have numbers for defending as well. So it was a very well balanced strategy. If we have a look at units lost, and there's one line there. I think Berhudar did lose a handful of troops through mostly to the catapults from range, but that initial attack, it took out pretty much the whole of Sharkee's numbers. Very little happened up to that point. There was one minor skirmish with horses that Berhudar tried, and one very unsuccessful skirmish with horses where he lost them all. But did he have to do that much? I think the level of opposition, in terms of the game plan, was not there. Interesting to see. Fortress, there was only a few minutes between that first fortress going up. So that sprint to phase 3 by Sharkee, he did get catapults and rams, but he did not have the numbers to back it up. You cannot win a battle alone with. You can't win a battle with siege alone. You do need cavalry. You do need infantry, especially. One of the other telling factors, Sharkee did not upgrade his troops in any way, shape, or form, whereas Berhudar had the first ranged upgrade and the second ranged upgrade and the full armor upgrade. So ranged infantry, definitely his attack plan, and followed it up with eight lots of Caesar, 8 rams as well. Yeah, when you look at the development, I think as a new player, it is very important to get your head around that it's not a race to phase 3. That does not give you a massive advantage. You are far better off having a huge army and an infrastructure in place. Sharkee did not have the farming in place to produce food. He did not have the hunt. He did not exploit berries. He was not able to produce troops on a regular enough basis. In fact, all of the major resources, Sharkee was inferior. And the one thing that he did do was get siege up fast. But when we got to the business end of the match, one single gigantic attack from Berhudar was enough to end all of his resistance, and that was pretty much that. So very one-sided first game that we're covering. I can tell you right now, I've seen the second game that I've got to cover for the double elimination tournament, and that is a bit of a battle royale, but this one pretty much a one-sided contest. I thought it was going to go Berhudar's way when he opened up a lead of around 50 in terms of population, and that turned out to be the case. So I hope you join me for the next tournament game. That will probably be released not long after this one. I'm aiming to do them in a full run. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you managed to pick up some takeaways, at least, of possibly how not to do things, maybe. Poor Sharkee, I think he was a bit out of his depth. I don't think he knew how to manage a population above the sort of 60 mark. And he is evidently very good at getting to phase 3 and getting siege out, but was a little out of his depth when it came to what is evidently a more experienced player in Berhudar, who didn't do anything wrong. He did the business. It was very solid, and I think it'll be interesting to see how far Berhudar goes in this tournament, and it'll be interesting to see how his rating improves. I think possibly that rating of 1,184 doesn't quite belie the experience that he's got with building a population. I thought he did very, very well in that game and did everything he needed to do and was ultimately successful. So that's it for this first tournament match. I'll see you at the next one, and obviously do check out the regular 0AD Newbie Rush show. New episodes released every Sunday, tournament games get released basically as and when I get them and when I edit them and put the commentaries down and everything. But I'll see you next time, and bye for now. Thank you.